Are we still early to Cardano? Okay, let's talk about that here in this video and why we're going to get into an article talking about $6.25 being potentially still early for Cardano. And I know that's about double and a little bit more than double of all-time highs. So we'll break it all down and give you my thoughts, get you guys out of here, and we'll look at what Cardano is doing on the day. For those of you that do not know, my name is Mark. We talk crypto every single day on my channel. I am a big Cardano maxi holder, whatever you want to call it. And let's get into kind of what we're seeing here on the day, as it's been a nice little bit of a rally here stemming from the post-Powell comments, as we've seen that 25 basis point deletion, if you will. So looking into some of those numbers and seeing these bubbles here on the top 100 cryptos out there in the market has responded accordingly. Now, what I'm sharing with you guys is not financial advice. Please keep that in mind. Always be sure to do your own research and due diligence. But as we look at Cardano up one spot, overtaking TON here, now trading at 92 cents. This is one where we were talking about it last week a little bit, and we have seen 6% and 5% respectively, roughly within the last day and week. And this was a crypto that you could have bought around and even below 80 cents. Still a very sizable swing trade within ADA when it was hovering around 80 cents. And something we've been alluding to as I pull up the trading view. We'll talk about some of the numbers. And it's been pretty much all systems go since we flashed momentum up back on September 16th. Now, these are hourly candles, so please keep that in mind. It's going to be something very fast-paced, but for illustration purposes, I just wanted to show you guys some of that trajectory as we look at Cardano trying to get back to $1 once again, okay? Let's break down this article, and before we do so, if you aren't trading on BITUNIX, I do want to share with you guys, we have a 25% bonus to your futures trading account. You sign up today using my link. Click the link in the description. Takes you over there to BITUNIX, where I do all my futures trading, and it's a great interface, great promotion that they are running there. So do your research, due diligence. And if you want to start trading on BITUNIX, find that link down below. Okay. So this is why we could see Cardano potentially rallying to $6.25. Now, this is coming out from Ollie Martinez. A lot of people, good, bad, whatever you may want to call his analysis at times. Okay, and I try to keep things 100, so we'll talk about the good numbers, the bad numbers. But as we look into Cardano, all right, this is something where we've seen since November of 2024, where we have seen an impressive 168% gain since that November 2024 level. And over the last 2 months, okay, this is where we've seen two bullish closes, gaining nearly 40% within this period, and just about 13% this month alone. But he insists that the Cardano bull run is just beginning. Now, this is where we've seen this before. And in November 2020, we reached the all-time high of $3.10 that we did attribute to August of 2021. And still very early at that peak, Cardano did collapse again, getting into another bear phase within the rest and the entirety of the crypto market, where we dropped down below 75 cents in May of 22. Okay, this was way back when. But as we look into these numbers today, we've seen the November 2024 breakout. We've seen Cardano hit a 3-year peak of $1.32 in December of 2024, but then losing momentum. Now, as we look at the chart and why this all kind of matters, this is where he looks into the data, expecting Cardano to cross the $5 mark, potentially rallying to $6.25, which would align with a 127.2 Fibonacci extension. Okay, so leveraging this to argue that Cardano's bull run is still in the early stages, but there's a lot of analysts out there in the space that do think that the $10 level and the $1 short-term peak that we would see looking at Cardano in a 5-wave formation here, this is where the 5th wave could lead to $1 in the short term. But if you guys all follow Dan Gambardello, very outspoken within the Cardano community, looking at that, you can kind of see his comments and his take, thinking that Cardano will be at that $10 level once again, and for a all-time high setting. That would be very nice for me personally, okay? And I'd be very curious to know what your guys' take would be if Cardano would hit $10. Would you be out of the game? I kind of really want to pose that question. I hope we could talk about that one day, to be honest, okay? But as we look at it today, guys, this is where the quest back to $1.32 does start to take shape. Okay, and we've seen a lot of positive price action here, and dating back to the 2022, 2023, this blue line that I have drawn, and I'm going to take off my trading indicator so you can see this more precisely. Okay, this is kind of where we've been on this steady uptrend with some turbulence along the way, but still, guys, in a 2-3 year time period, we'll take it. Okay, this is where you could have bought Cardano as low as 20 cents, and the chart continues to organically build and grow. It's not been the smoothest uptrend. There's been a lot of volatility, but that's been hitting a lot of the other cryptos as well. And for an outbreak candidate, I will say Cardano doesn't have that life that a lot of other cryptos do. We won't see this 2021 rally where, back from the way back when, this is where we had almost a 2,000, about a 1,700% increase in less than 1 year's time. So can Cardano do a 17x in 1 year? Probably not. That was a lot of FOMO-driven retail speculation. And despite having all the institutional involvement that we have in today's market, it does pose a question to me, though, what is crypto capable of? Okay, I think that a lot of people never thought that Bitcoin would reach 125,000. We did. We'll take it. But Cardano, I'm very happy with what we're doing right now. I would love to see just nice, steady organic growth where if you want to go look and fast forward to this trend line that we have been forming, okay, this is where over the next 2 years, okay, it would not shock me if Cardano continues this. And inside this is kind of where I look towards this zone, okay? And yes, if we want to kind of make proportional estimations, if you will, this is kind of where you would see Cardano back at $1.30, $1.40 in a 2-year time window. But I do think that if we are capable of what we saw back in 2021, we're going to have a lot to talk about, because this is something where we would see the potential where, in my personal opinion, this would be where Cardano reaches not a 5, not a 6, not a 7, not what Dan's saying with $10, but I do think that's more of a 2030 mindset. But it would not shock me whatsoever if Cardano got to all-time highs and a little bit above. We're talking 4 to 450. That's kind of just my intermediate price projection if we do hit our stride in a bull run. Okay, that's just how I feel. It's kind of a tempered emotion. It's a glass half full, maybe. I think there's a lot of people that want to see Cardano explode. I'm more so in the middle. Okay, I think that $5 would be our cap for the next bull run. That's just my kind of, I don't want to say my glass half full prediction, but it's just what I'm doing personally. Okay, and you're allowed to disagree with me. I welcome the arguments that you would pose. Personally, I would just be happy if Cardano got back to $2. Okay, this cycle. I think this is something, though, as we look at the involvement, though, within the Bitcoin DeFi bridge, Cardano ETFs, and what Hoskinson is building. Very enthused into that trajectory, like we talked about. I don't want to see a big pump like we got in 2021. Okay, just food for thought. Everybody would be out of the game, in my personal opinion. The nice, steady, organic growth, that's what I want to obtain. And in a 4 to 5 year time period, if Cardano can gain, let's say, just $1 per year, okay, I think we'd be in a very good spot, trading at about $6 for 1 ADA. We'll take that. Okay, I think I will. And leave a comment down below. What is your outlook for the next 1 to 2 year time period? And as far as Q4 goes and Q1 of 2026, that's really what's setting up, in my opinion, to have the biggest impact on the charts for me personally. And that's kind of what I'm looking at from a trading perspective. Cardano has always been a buy and hold for me. Yes, there are some opportunities like I talked about. For example, back in October, I didn't call it like this, but I did think that we were going to get a pump. And, sometimes it does beat your expectations. So it's always right to kind of, I guess you would say, not have the heaviest expectations and always be this, I guess you would say, shocked on what it actually does. Okay. And I think that's something where we look into Cardano and, just our expectations. I don't want to get into that, $6, $10 and start, really reaching, if you will. I think that having a more realistic approach where maybe it's 4, maybe it's 5, and then from there we can really talk about where crypto's headed. But that's kind of how I stack up. Okay, so I'm not really debunking that price prediction from Ollie. I'm not really debunking the one from Dan as well. I'm just telling you guys my tempered prediction when I look at my ADA and where I'm going within my holdings at current day. Okay, appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see kind of what the next few days have in store. Looking forward to this trajectory that we're on. Bullish post-POW. That's all we could ask for. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you have not yet clicked the BITUNIX link, check them out. If you want to start trading on that platform, that link is down below. Let's enjoy the ride. Let's enjoy this. I'll take a green day every single day, and we'll see kind of how the market shapes up into the weekend. Appreciate you all watching. We'll see you all in the next video. Cheers.